When you were installing the RF feeder cables, you need to support them. You can't use, for example, tie wraps that are sensitive to ultraviolet light. Those are right out. What we use, in fact, is these series of cleats. And the cleats come in different sizes to suit the different size of cables that you're going to be installing. The cleats themselves are in two parts and they grip around the cable, and you normally space these along the cable at defined intervals. A cable, however, that is very thin will be inclined to move, vibrate, for example in the wind, and this could cause stress or fatigue that could cause damage to the cable. It could totally break after, say, a number of years of installation. So half-inch cables should be cleated about every 0.6 meters. 7/8 inch cables should be cleated every 0.8. 1 1/4 inch cables should be 1 meter intervals, and the 1 5/8 they're very, very rigid, so 1.2 meter intervals is sufficient for those. The cleats themselves are mounted on this support assembly, and the support assembly will accept several cleats. For the smaller cables like the 1/2 inch and the 7/8, we can have up to 4 cleats on one support assembly. But for the larger cables, the 1 1/4 and the 1 5/8 inch cables, we can have 2 cleats on one assembly. The end of each assembly is connected to a support bracket here, and this is actually clamping onto the support structure, whether it be a tower or a mast or whatever. It's actually threaded in 3 places, so this can be rotated and it can be mounted in different ways, so that you can, for example, clamp this thing onto a horizontal member, or you could clamp it onto a vertical member. And so in this way you can mount these cleats by means of the clamp onto virtually any support structure. For example, here we've got a section of a tower, and we'll just slacken this one off. We place it over the support member and tighten it up. In this way you can support all the cleats for several antenna feeders at the same time. Cable support cleats can alternatively be supported on a mast or a pole by means of tie wraps. Plastic cable ties cannot be used to support cable support cleats or clamps. The ultraviolet content of ordinary sunlight causes them to become brittle and then to break. Choose only the cable ties that have got metal inside them.